Thank you for the introduction. I'm Xin from North Washington. I'm very fortunate to give the last talk at FCRC. So let's start with the problem. Whoa, what happens? Let me just use this one. So, okay. Is there something wrong with the... maybe I can just use the...
Maybe just...
No, this is not so fair. From the beginning.
Is it still... Oh.
I don't think. No, I don't have...
Oh, sorry, what? Unclick what? Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Let me start with the problem setting. So it's about the John Ellipsoid. Or more precisely, the maximal volume inscribed ellipsoid problem, the MVIE problem. So the input is a centrally symmetric polytope P, which is defined by a set of linear inequalities. So say we are working in the space R to the n, where n is the dimension, and we have m inequalities. We just arrange this m inequality together to have this matrix A. And the polytope P is just defined as all the set of points in Rn, so that the infinity norm of Ax is bounded by 1. We can check that this is indeed a symmetric polytope. So our task is to find the ellipsoid E inside P so that the volume is maximized. Here, the ellipsoid E is represented by a matrix G of n by n matrix G. And that is just the normal expression of an ellipsoid. The condition that the E is contained in P happens if and only if the 2 norm of G times AI, where AI is the ith row of the matrix A, or the ith inequality, is bounded by 1 for all the rows of A. And the volume of the ellipsoid is proportional to the determinant of the matrix G. So that's why we define we have a square there in the expression of the ellipsoid. Because we want to work on a convex program, so actually the real target function we are going to maximize is this log determinant function. So this is a problem formulation. So now let's go about the John ellipsoid. The famous theorem by John says that the maximal volume inscribed matrix E has a good sandwich property of this form. So we have an illustration for this. So let this P be the polytope, and E, just the blue ellipsoid, be the maximal volume inscribed ellipsoid. John states if we scale this ellipsoid by a factor of root n, then the enlarged polytope, the enlarged ellipsoid will contain the polytope. By the way, if the polytope is not symmetric, then the factor will be n, not root n. Okay, so the John ellipsoid is related to many learning problems. So here we list some, but not all of them. So the first one is about sampling from convex bodies. So there is a Markov chain-based sampling technique which apply the ball walk. And because the John ellipsoid is a good rounding of the polytope, if we just use the John position, we can speed up and we have very good mixing time. That's for sampling. Also, this problem, the MVIE problem, is also related to the D-optimal design problem. This can be seen clearer if we see from the dual formulation of the problem, which I will give later. And also, another computation geometry problem related to the John ellipsoid is the minimum volume enclosing ellipsoid. But now here, the ellipsoid should be defined by the convex solve of a set of points. Okay, now let's see the primal and dual program. So this is just the original problem I have defined earlier. So the target function is roughly the volume of the ellipsoid, and the condition is just saying that the ellipsoid is contained in the polytope. Now the standard Lagrangian dual of this program is given in this way. So people who are familiar with the optimal design will just see that this is precisely the definition of the D-optimal design problem. And the solution of this primal and dual program, they are related in this way. Okay. Now, the first order optimality of the programs is given by the KKT conditions, where it states if W star is the optimal solution to the dual program, then it has to satisfy this equation. This equation is very important in the later of the talk, so I just call it, for simplicity, I just call this long line to be sigma I of W star. With this function sigma I defined, we can also talk about approximate John Ellipsoid, which means if some weight W satisfy the condition that for all the indices I, the sigma I of W is bounded by 1 plus epsilon, then we can generate Ellipsoid Q from this W just from this transformation. And this Ellipsoid Q will satisfy something that is not exactly the same, but somehow approximate the guarantee given by the best ellipsoid, the joint ellipsoid E. And our main result is that we give an algorithm that for any epsilon between 0 and 1, we can compute this epsilon approximate joint ellipsoid within order of roughly 1 over epsilon, 1 over epsilon times log m many iterations. Remember, m is the number of inequalities. Moreover, each iteration takes roughly order of 1 over epsilon many linear systems of this special form to solve. So in total, we just say we only need to solve order of 1 over epsilon square many linear systems to find approximate joint ellipsoid. We claim this is almost optimal because even if we want to verify the correctness of some ellipsoid to be like close to the optimal one, essentially we need to compute the level scores of the matrix A. While the best known result to compute the level scores already needs to solve order of 1 over epsilon square many linear systems. This is not a hardness result, but just saying that our result match the best known algorithm even for the verification task. Okay, now let's go to our algorithm. Remember, the KKT condition is of the form the optimal solution W star has to satisfy the W star times sigma of W star. We interpret this KKT condition as the W star has to satisfy a function. It's just the fixed point of the function. So our algorithm is extremely simple. We just iterate over this function, and finally we take the average of during all the iterations, and we can show that this will just be a good approximation. So previously, the algorithm would be like a first order or second order method, but this is just very simple fixed point iteration. And to argue for the convergence, we need to prove that for all the sigma i's, it should be converged to 1. And the analysis is very simple. It just relies on convexity result. We show that the sigma I function is log convex. From this fact, we can use a telescope technique to prove the convergence. Okay, that's basically the algorithm. Now we can further speed up the algorithm so that the running time does not depend on the dimension or the size explicitly. So where we use so here the technique we use is the sketching technique to do dimension reduction. So in this way, we can get rid of the dependency on m, which can be very large compared to n. So finally, we had conducted several experiments show that our algorithm performed like 10 to 100 times faster than all the previous ones. And that's all for my talk. Thank you very much.